All right, Jimmy, here we are again.
Another week, another dollar.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I'm representing my Chicago White Sox. Unfortunately, my lighting is just so bad. So I think it's because of the baseball cap. But look at that. Look at that. The lighting's much better now. I do want to represent my team. So I'm going to put it at least in the background. There we go. And so that I don't even think it's in the shot there. There we
Now,
go. Yeah. So
just out of curiosity, when was the last time that any of the Chicago baseball teams won a World Series?
I'm not going to answer that question because I know it was not the Chicago White Sox. So I'll leave it right there. I know that the other Chicago team did pretty well several years after the White Sox won in 2015. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Please, no, don't say 2015. No, it wasn't 2015. It was 2005. Oh my goodness. I'll have to look it up. I can't even remember, right? When the White Sox won the last time. I think it was 2005. If that's the case, oh my goodness, 20 years ago, we're long overdue.
Well, that's why I call Chicago the city of eternal hope. The Bears, hope. Ever since Jordan left, the Bulls, hope. Ah, their hockey team. So, uh, you
I
know,
I love my Chicago teams, Jimmy, but I've got no retort. I have no answer back to that. It is what it is, and it's unfortunate. For a big town like Chicago, and not being able to produce a world champion since I think it wasn't the Blackhawks. I think the Blackhawks won the world championship of Stanley Cup before the Cubs won their World Series. It's hard. That is hard to take, but hope springs eternal.
and in Chicago, it's every day out there. Every year, this is the year of the Bears.
Oh, mercy me. But us Chicagoans, we're gluttons for punishment. With the weather during the winters, that snow, the snow got me to move here to Florida. So I can't, I can, I can only say as much as I can. I still miss my hometown, and I'm rooting on the Chicago White Sox this year. They started off opening day with a win. Let's keep it going for the next 160 games.
As a matter of fact, Chicago is the town and the host United States, which if you go to a hot dog stand or hot dog place and ask for ketchup, they give you the look.
Oh, you'll get the look, all right. Oh, you will get the look. Oh, I will give the look. I will even say something like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Just for the record, it, even there, it's like really. It's the only town that I know that if you ask for ketchup when you order a hot dog, they give you the look. Other towns, sure here, but Chicago, mm-mm. As a
That's
matter of
right.
fact, there is a saying that I heard in Chicago that there's no good excuse to put ketchup on a hot dog.
There isn't. I I will not argue that there is not. There is not. Um,
So, do you want to? I'm going to do things reverse. I'm going to start with the fuck up of the week for the Republicans, and then I'll go to the Democrats because I'm not leaving you guys out. I don't want you to feel excluded. Even though I'm a Democrat, I don't want you to feel excluded. Okay.
all right, let's hear it.
Okay. Now, just for so everybody knows that recently the idiots who are in charge of making war and defending this country decided to use Signal, which is not the most secure system in the world. It's commercially available to everybody. It's like communicating through TikTok.
Yeah.
People think that that's secure, or WhatsApp, and they think it's secure. The governor of Puerto Rico was taken down because uh, Just like this one recently, somebody who was not supposed to be in the chat room was when he
Ooh.
came out, and he just let it go. Recently, we have people preparing to, you could call it go to war. I wouldn't call it, just to bombard Yemen and kill somebody that they claim owes them money or is a terrorist. I'm having problems these days with the Trump administration believing them when they tell me these guys were criminals. We removed them. We know that everybody who went to El Salvador is not a gang member. Not everybody was a criminal, and even El Salvador rejected 25 people because they were criminals. And the guy who had that tattoo
Tattoo.
that this was one for autism, which okay. So when they tell you anything, I take it with a grain of salt that there's a good chance that's a lie. What we do know is that recently, not this week, the previous week, while everybody was having fun, there was a chat on Signal, which is a commercially used. It's not a secure system. Okay, let's stop
Correct.
pretending. This is like using any of the commercial Signal, WhatsApp, TikTok. All these programs are out there. Okay, as a matter of fact, the one that we transmit is not supposed to be either. It's for a post podcast. It's not supposed to be so secure, but
Yeah.
this is what they did. They discussed war. They discussed bombardment. They discussed killing people. They discussed that if it was a good idea to do it. They even had an argument between Vance and the other people as
Yeah.
to how to proceed with this, if it was a good idea. Okay.
Yep.
The ramifications of it and everything else. And this was done via text. It's not done in the situation room. There was one person in Russia that could have been hacked. God forbid, but there was. So this went on for over half an hour.
Hmm.
Somebody, and this is where it becomes interesting, it was either one of the people from the National Security or the Secretary of Defense. Now, this is where I get scared. They screwed up and included the editor of the Atlantic. Thank
Yeah.
God it was the editor of the Atlantic. Let's say, since they have the phone numbers of the people in the KGB and all their Russian friends and some of these other crazy countries, El Salvador or even Korea or China, they just put one of those people on.
Hmm.
God forbid that they would have known everything. To say that what they were doing was not classified, so my response to that, if it's not classified, can I seek under the Freedom of Information Act
Mm.
everything that occurred there? And I know what the response is going to be. No, no, Mr. Font, you can't get that. It is classified.
Right.
It's classified not to give it to me, but when you screw up, it isn't. They went to the normal tactic. They insulted the person who heard it.
Who wrote the
They
story? Yeah.
insulted his magazine, and for the record, just because they consider it something bad or even obsolete, I decided to subscribe to it. Just screw you. You tell me I shouldn't be there. That's what I'm going to be. Uh, and last but not least, they try to say it was a lie. But here's where the screw up is really bad. It's really bad. Trump is saying one thing, these people are saying another thing, but the official version that came out of the White House admits that it was classified, admits that it was a mistake, and that there's going to be an investigation into it.
Good.
Well, I don't know if that's something that they're giving us BS or if there is going to be an investigation. Because again, I part from the premise, and I say this, and I think we have to do this very carefully. They told us that coming out, these people who Trump appointed are from the White House, there's a good chance it's a lie. That's the whole problem. If you don't think that Trump lies to you, if you don't think that all his secretaries lie to you, if you don't think that this is based on lies, or like even Elon Musk, who now is saying that he's going by doing what he's going to do for Social Security means my check is going to be higher. That's a lie. My
Hmm.
check is based on what I put into the system and how much I will receive. It has nothing to do with how much money there is in the pot. It isn't. So, but then again, Musk doesn't do anything. But realistically, this is a major fuck up.
It
And
is
thank
indeed.
God it was Mr. Goldberg. And it wasn't some Russian spy, some
No.
Russian newspaper, or some other foreign person, because that would really be bad. Can you imagine, just for the record, that they doing this and that one of the people from that is a spy calls the people in Yemen and say, hey, tell this guy to get out of his house. They're about to bombard him.
Hmm.
Or, you know, they decide to jump in and say something and they respond to that person. This is the thing that really is amateur, and
Hmm.
that's what happened. You appoint people to be disruptive. You appoint people to be different. You appoint people to have their nose up your, and then when it comes time, they don't know what they're doing. And right now, that is the problem. They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. Using Signal, if all these people are national security, they should have their own system where they could do this without using a commercially available thing out there. It
And
doesn't.
it's protocol to have, secure locations, to have sensitive phone calls, confidential phone calls, top secret phone calls. They have devices specifically screened for, any attempts to hack into them. They meet certain security protocols. This is a failure, and a significant failure of intelligence, and a failure of all of those individuals in that group chat.
And this is the other thing that nobody thinks of. Uh, this is a commercial product.
Mhm.
Somebody's is that chat was under somebody's system. Could have been the Secretary of Defense. It could have been one of the people for national security. It could have been anybody, but it's under somebody's thing. Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm suing one of them
Mhm.
because of something that they did or didn't do. And I asked for discovery. Say I want access to uh, to his emails, his text, because I believe this has happened. And all of a sudden, it pops up that he texts through Signal. I could get access to that, and that is why I call you guys amateurs. Because
Jimmy, a couple of things. First of all, kudos to the editor Goldberg in regards to how he handled all of this, to make sure that he did not jeopardize himself or the Atlantic. Um, Kudos to the owner of the Atlantic, as she is standing by Goldberg and letting this go through its course. As we saw with Jeff Bezos in the Washington Post, the LA Times, we've seen them capitulate to Donald Trump in his presidency and his candidacy. We saw Disney, the owner of ABC, capitulate. We saw CBS capitulate. And so kudos to the Atlantic for standing ground, supporting Goldberg, and Goldberg doing what was necessary to protect himself, the Atlantic, and everyone involved in being transparent. Um, Now, saying such, Michael Waltz, former representative from Florida Congressional District 6 and now National Security Advisor, it's curious to me that Waltz had Goldberg's contact information in his phone, in his signal, which the media does use. And you would think that he would have double checked who was in this chat. I know that Michael Walls has been on the opposite side of the Trump foreign policy, defense policy agenda at times. Is there a possibility that this was on purpose? Because there was some disagreement. Even JD Vance, the vice president, has some caution, some pause about what was going to occur. What do you think about that, Jimmy?
I think that is a possibility. I think that he could have done that. Uh, he will deny it, but he could have. And maybe he wanted to see who he could remove from national security stuff by doing it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that is a distinct possibility. And an even more possibility could be that he thought that by that probably what's going to happen was, oh, if you guys don't do what I want you to do, the Atlantic is going to publish this. Not realizing that they didn't want to ask for his permission, they didn't ask for anybody's permission.
Right.
You text me something, it is I'm receiving what you're texting to me. So when you text it to me, you're giving up your right to privacy. Just so you know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You, oh, no, you. If you text me, you're giving up your right. The same thing is that it never ceases to amaze me. When the good old days, when there was answering machines, people would leave long, extended, threatening messages. But that's private. No, it isn't. It's not. You let the message, and we picked up exactly what you want to say.
Right.
I believe it is possible, and I think not only is it possible, of that group, the only person I could think of who would have had any contact with Gulliver was him. I
Mm-hmm.
doubt the guy from Fox News even know who he was. Uh, JD Vance might,
Right.
in my defense, he might. Uh, Tulsi, I doubt she did. Uh, and the rest of the group, I not even clear. But the interesting thing is whose account was it? This is the part that still has been private. Because if it was Walt's account, I have no doubt.
Yes.
If it was the Secretary of
Excellent.
Defense account, could he have added somebody? Yeah, he could have. But
Sure.
then
Sure.
he would have had to add it, and the person who would have all the information of who was in that chat room would have been the person who owned the connection. So it's going to be interesting coming down. I don't think there's going to be an investigation. Why? Because basically, who's going to investigate them? The
It's not
FBI,
the AG. It's not
who's
going to be the AG.
no, she's as corrupt as the rest of them. So,
Mm.
and I'm really disappointed with Pam. She was a semi decent attorney general here, but she's gone down there a lot.
When
She's always been kind
she,
of crazy, but now she's nuts.
yeah, yeah, I was disappointed in her when she did not follow through on investigating the Trump business in regards to the Trump Academy or whatever he called it.
University.
Yeah, that was disappointing to me, and I agree. I don't think we'll see any type of investigation. However, Jimmy, will we see some heads roll? And if so, who's likely to be on the chopping block before the week's news cycle ends today on Friday?
The only person who could have been, but is not, can't, is J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, if you read what he wrote there,
Yeah,
uh, he didn't think that the president would do something that stupid. Obviously, the president ordered it because if not, these guys then they're in real trouble because they did something that without presidential approval. But yeah, it is, and it also shows that if the president ordered it through the Secretary of Defense or some other people to do it, and he didn't tell that to JD Vance, it shows that he's out of the loop, which is also not the greatest of idea. But yeah, the one that was missing there was Musk. I'm not sure why he wasn't there on that chat because he's in everything else. Who knows?
Good point, Jimmy. As far
But
as JD Vance, and I can't remember the position that Michael Waltz had. It may have been the opposite. However, this is not the first time that JD has been the vice president, has been on the other side of the issue with the president. And if he's looking to succeed the president in 2032, is that right? No, 2028. Um, he better tread lightly. I believe, as far as who's going to be on the chopping block, I think it would be Michael Walls. I think that Trump and everyone else is going to continue to have plausible deniability. That's just his style. However, Trump was hoping and praying, I'm sure he was, that there will be no quick firings from this administration. We're what, 70 days into this new administration? Now there's a possibility of someone having to leave if you don't count the failed confirmation of Representative Matt Gaetz. Uh, I'm pretty sure that we could. Ugh, I think just after 5 o'clock on Friday night, we'll hear that Michael Waltz has left the administration.
that is a possibility, but it's a possibility. But I can tell you how they're going to spin it. Right now, they took off the block the lady that they appointed as ambassador to the United Nations because they need her back in the House.
Representative
Uh,
Stefanik.
yes, but at this point, under the rules and regulations of the House of Representatives, he cannot go back. He would have to be reelected because he quit. He
That's correct.
resigned, and he would have to go back and go the other getting elected. And now
Mm,
that we're there, let's go into the interesting race, the race of districts in Florida. The race
yes,
everybody was like, really? Yes. Okay. You have an ex-senator of the state who is cuckoo for Cuckoo Pops. Uh,
that would be Randy Fine.
yeah, right. Mr. Fine, who's not fine. He's cuckoo. Uh, but being that way, he is also has had his head up the president's, uh, and the president decided to endorse him, and
That's
that's
right.
how he come out of the primary. But here's what the interesting thing is: does anybody look at the primary numbers that got Mr. Fine to become the candidate? How really low they were, and
I did.
not that they were higher. I mean, much higher. They were, but Democrats who are much less people registered in that precinct, their numbers for the primaries compared to the Republicans were much better.
Hmm.
Here's
Hmm.
where it becomes even more interesting. Democrats have outraised him. The polls done by the pollers that Donald Trump hires
Say
has Mr.
Peter.
Fine behind.
Mm,
Granted,
okay.
huh? 4 points.
Okay.
Granted, 4 points. Okay, I understand. It's not a big deal. That's 4 points could be, but in that district where Fine won with 66% of the vote, where Donald Trump won with close to 70 with 69 point something, yeah, that is concerning. That is extremely concerning. And what the concern is from the polls is the amount of Republicans who answered they're not going to go out to vote. That
Mm,
is the part that is kind of interesting. There's people in Brevard County, which is part of it, that are concerned they're going to lose their job. Even though Musk has said, no, I'm not going to fire anybody because I need everybody in NASA for my ex contract and for the money I'm making there. So that is the one area. But this is the interesting thing. If Fine wins with less than 60% of the vote in the last 10, no, 10 elections, 20 years, correct.
Hmm.
Every Republican who's had that seat has won by more than 61% of the vote. As a matter
Mm.
of fact, knowing the congressional DNC, this is one of those seats that they don't put any money in, they don't recruit anybody for it because they think it's a non winner seat. Oh, yes. The DNC is the biggest loser in this area.
Mm. Mm.
And,
I
yeah, and to go into the Democrat fuck up of the week, it wasn't until these numbers started coming out at the end that they woke up and said, hey, maybe we should spend some money here. Basically, what he has raised, the gentleman, is from the text that we get all the time. Hey, this is John Smith. I'm running for District 2 in the great state of Arizona. Will you send me $5, $10, $15?
Yeah.
He'll get those, okay? He has been successful because basically he he's made a message, hey, one vote can make a difference right now.
It's true.
One vote can make a huge difference. And basically, he made it clear how what he wanted to do. And Fine is basically saying, hey, send me to Congress and I'll back Donald Trump and everything. And not all Republicans are in agreement with what Donald Trump is doing right now. That not the economy is bad.
Hmm.
They don't care about Greenland.
Right.
They don't care about Panama.
Up in
They don't care
Tom's.
about the federal government. They want their food prices to go down. And right now, when they start to realize that their cars are going to cost more,
Yeah.
they're going to have a problem. And it's going to be interesting when people say, well, uh, this is to force you to buy American cars. This is America. We buy whatever we want, asshole. You don't have to force me to buy a product. And this is where I think the Republicans need to wake up. They're not thinking about you. They don't care about the middle class. They don't care about the poor.
Okay.
They have these industrials who put them into office saying, hey, hey, put a tariff on all these foreign cars. That will force people to buy American cars. Unfortunately, there's no such a thing as an American car for them to buy. They could buy cars that was assembled in the United States, yeah,
Right.
with parts made in Canada,
Yeah.
parts made in Mexico, parts made in South Korea, okay? But no. So when people tell me, wow, but they're going to buy, no, you buy. And this is where the lie is to all of you. If you, the parts that come from Mexico and Canada, those are going to be exempt from the tariffs. But everything else is. So if you want to buy a Toyota, you want to buy a Mazda, a Honda, a Hyundai, a Kia, and I could keep on going all day,
Mm.
those cars are going to have a tariff and they're going to try to make them too expensive for you to buy. Oh, I forgot the car that everybody loves, Mercedes, BMWs,
Yeah.
Volvos. They're also going to be tariffed to the max. So people get ready to pay and buy the cars that you want. I wouldn't buy
Hmm.
a Dodge even if you gave it to me. Dodge are
Hmm.
gas guzzlers. I'm sorry, they are.
Okay.
So basically, at this point, I want to see how people are reacting because nothing that he's done is ineffective. As a matter of fact, one of the things that poetic justice is that he fired about 125 people from the Treasury Department office in West Virginia. All the people there, with the exception of two that were hired for those 125 jobs, that is because they were opening a new regional office there. They were on probation. Yeah, well, yeah, they were office. Okay. And some were replacing people who had retired, who took benefits from the other thing. They were all let go.
Not
The
good.
federal order saying that it was illegal what they did. But what I call poetic justice, hey, you fired people who voted for Donald Trump. Really, I don't, yeah. By the way,
You-
before I forget, I saw something on a car today on a Tesla, which
what
is,
is that?
I bought this Tesla before Alien become crazy.
Well, believe it or not, Tesla is the only vehicle that is manufactured, assembled, and all its parts were made here in America.
I know, and guess who's going to benefit from this terms? You,
Elon Musk.
exactly. It's Elon Musk, Chevrolet, Ford, and Dodge. They're going to benefit. But the one who's going to benefit the most, because he doesn't have to say, "Oh, here's my terms. This is what's happening." No, it's him. But the sad point is that his sales are down really low.
Sure.
His sales are down 20%, and the moron, and this is how I don't understand how he made his money because he's so stupid. It's not even funny. He's
PayPal.
like, okay, 20% of my sales are down, so I'm just fire 20% of my staff.
Mm.
Well, so you have nobody installing brakes now? Whoa, whoa, no, wait a minute. Did you do it proportionate? X percent from the offices? No, it's just 20% of all the employees. Seniority out the window and everything else. And be prepared because I understand that some people are pissed off with Amazon and have not purchased anything from Amazon in the last
Oh,
90 days.
is that the whole black boycott thing? I know Amazon was part of that boycott. Walmart, Costco, um, Target was the first one. I haven't heard anything since. It's supposed to be a sustained campaign, but boycotts really don't work.
Oh, they don't. And to be quite honest, my boycott has very few has nothing to do with that.
Hmm.
Mine is the way he treats his employees. I would
Hmm.
not, I'm not going to purchase anything from a sweatshop. I don't care. And
Hmm.
by the way, if I need something, I'll get it from China. Oh, wait a minute. So it's Bezos. What am I talking about?
Back to that CD6 race, Josh Weil, the Democrat, and Senator Randy Fine, the Republican. It's surprising, first of all, that is the race is as close as it is,
Yeah,
because it is a very red district. Despite the turnout, I just looked at the numbers about maybe 2 hours ago in regards to turnout for early voting and vote by mail, and the Democrats are leading in both. However, um, let me check that by percentage they're leading. However, there's far more Republicans than Democrats. So the percentages you have to dig a little bit deeper to see that the numbers are closer than you may think. And of course, we have election day coming up on Tuesday where Republicans are traditionally going to come out. It's a special election. In most special elections, you see pretty much the diehards coming out to vote. The less propensity voters persuaded are targeted significantly in a persuasion campaign. But for the most part, in my past experience, these special elections will produce um, the incumbent party. But great effort by the Democrats to raise $10 million nationwide. There's a side scandal in regards to his campaign, the campaign team. I forgot his name. I can pull it up, but regardless, there's some concerns about the misuse of funds by the campaign manager and just unscrupulous behavior that has been exhibited in the past. But again, Democrats are loyal to a bone to those who just continue to bury them. And this particular consultant is causing a stink and division within the party up north.
Great. Let's get used to that. Republicans, you never hear them say, hey, the consultant's making money. As a matter of fact, I would love for that to become an issue.
Hmm.
Consultants are what has fucked over this party. I remember the name of the movie. Look it up. The Adjustment Bureau.
Adjustment Bureau.
The
Okay,
Adjustment Bureau.
Adjustment Bureau.
The
I have,
Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon. He took off his shoe and said that
there it
they paid
is.
7,300 for them to tell how the appropriate shine of a shoe. They told him what colors of ties, what phrases would impact, and all this. And basically, what has fucked up my party are consultants. So if we come out with this one and show that we have a bad consultant, uh, that's been something that's come out of the party for some time, and maybe we need to discuss it. And but you never hear Republicans say, "Hey, we misappropriated funds." No, but Mr. Fine has some reputation of doing some weird things that, if he was a Democrat, that would be a scandal.
Hmm.
Okay, so look, people, do we have people who are perfect? No. Do you want somebody who looks perfect? No. Do you want somebody who uses the word weird, fascist? Hell no. If he's an asshole, he's an asshole. Call him that. If he's a jerk, he's a jerk. Call him that. People like people who are authentic. But we try to say, well, this consultant should have done it this way, not a that way. Uh, Woke has hurt us so much, it's pathetical. We don't want to admit it, but woke has hurt us. We took out a state senator from the great state of Minnesota because there was a photo that was inappropriate.
Yeah.
Really? Really? Uh, Republicans do weird things and they hold and protect each other. Right now, and I'm going to give this, now, if we're going to talk about this race, does everybody know what Mr. Fine has been accused of? Yelling at people, cursing at people, threatening
Intolerant.
people, okay? Being basically a bully, all these things
Hmm.
he's been accused of, and all of them are true.
Hmm.
If he went as a Democrat, oh, no, no, that's not the type of person we want. We want somebody with integrity. Maybe no brains, but integrity. Uh, Maybe no guts, but integrity. Maybe not a great communicator, but integrity. Let me tell you something that
Okay.
you Democrats need to know. You know who's the best communicator today, politically, in this country? Give you one chance.
I would say Donald J. Trump.
Bingo! He is. And he talks to the people the way they want to hear. He's in a speech and he uses the word fuck. He doesn't. Nobody cares. He takes half an hour to discuss another man's private. Nobody cares. God forbid that a Democrat does that. Ooh, he's the wrong person. We need to get rid of him. Hey, no, 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 no. We maybe need to get some reality check and say, hey, we need to talk to the people at their level and not down to them. Because one of
Hmm.
the things that a lot of the people do in my party is they talk down to people. If you talk down to people, I want you to go away. Right now, right now, I'm going to repeat myself, I think for the fifth time. Chuck Schumer needs to go. Nancy Pelosi
Yeah.
needs to go.
And
Jeffrey
Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffrey needs to go. We need young people. We need different people. And let me say something that in my party nobody wants to hear. AOC and Bernie are out there
Yeah.
in the message, talking to the people and listening to the people. And they've had meetings with 40,000 and 45,000 people showing up. Kamala never had a group that large.
Yeah. True. Okay.
You go to a convention center or to one of these nice places and it will look packed. But yeah, it's a place where the most you can have is 12 or 13,000 people. It looks packed.
Right. Right.
Uh, with all due respect, Bernie and AOC, and these are the two people. It's not like there's some other great speakers. These two people full of baseball fields, they fill areas, and they have 35, 40,000 people, and they're applauded. They talk, and if you take the time to go on YouTube or any other place you want, you check and just listen to them. They're talking simple, direct, and telling the people what's wrong with this. The problem that they don't like, and the hierarchy of the party, is that they're being like me, critical of the party. Because
Okay.
every week and say the fuck up with the Democrats is that they're doing nothing. They put
And,
up some videos with all them.
oh, and Jimmy, I'm hearing that the Democrats are just going to tread water for now and just be ready for the midterm. I say, well, again, the whole sense of a lack of presence. Where's the urgency? And this is something that has frustrated me with the opposing party, is that they will do this performative protest and then go home for the weekend and just kind of relax and then come back to Capitol Hill and, oh, gonna march down to the USAID office and point my finger at the guy's face and tell him what he's doing wrong. And then when the cameras are gone, they go back to their offices, their homes, and they're all nice and cuddly and everything. It's all performative. And it's like, is there urgency? Can they truthfully um, show us? Can they truthfully um, explain to us that there is an urgency to do what they need to do to fight what's going on by the Trump administration?
Well, the problem with them is very basic. They live in a Washington area. Like you say, they go back to their home in Washington. They don't listen to the constituents.
Yep.
They listen to CNN, MSNBC, and maybe some local news, and they're in their little cloud of everything is going well, and that is Trump is bad, and he still has a approval of 46% right now,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is more than what Biden had at this time of his first term. So
Yeah.
let's start that. Okay. The other thing is that if that is strategy is correct, why in states like Arizona, that's a Republican state, okay, states like Nevada and others that they've been out there, AOC and Bernie, why are there so many people out there? Why are there so many Democrats? Because let's stop pretending. Uh,
Okay.
Bernie and OAC, there's no independents and there are no Republicans going there. These are Democrats who want to see something happen. And what do
Right.
we do in videos? You know, that looks stupid. People
Yep.
who are doing these videos, you look stupid. I would prefer if you know, somebody got reprimanded because he used the word fuck. Well, fuck the party that is not doing anything. You need, you say you're the party of the common person, go out there. Go and listen to them. Hey, you know, we talk about the Republicans getting an airful. Some of the Democrats are not doing anything either. They're not going out and doing any town meetings either because they're afraid that some of them, like me, say, "What the fuck are you doing? You're
Yep.
doing nothing. Get your
And
ass out of here and go there and do something." I don't care if you go and present a something there, but you do nothing. Oh, we don't have the votes. Yes, you do. Negotiate. Say, hey, you want
thank
this? I'll vote
you.
for that if you vote for
Yep.
this.
Yep.
Start negotiating. But no, that you know, it's a complete cave-in. And
They need to get to the table one way or another and at least have the opportunity to give their voice.
as a matter of fact, we started with the incident, the security incident. Basically, They went to the House thing, and about 4 or 5 of them they did a pretty decent job. The others were like, "This was a fuck up." Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I never forget one of the confirmation hearings about, I would say, 6 or 8 years ago. There was a confirmation to an Obama appointee, and one senator said, "Look, your credentials of what you've done are great. Now tell me what you're going to do for this country."
Thank you.
But normally, oh, he's a good Republican. Look, tell me one person that has been confirmed for any position at, on Donald Trump's cabinet that's qualified. None. None.
And that, and that's why you still see Pete Hegseth, Michael Waltz, Tabby Gabbard in their positions. Did I say Tabby? Tulsi Gabbard in their positions because it's about loyalty for Trump and not necessarily competence. And that's the difference with Democratic leadership is that Trump demands loyalty and to stay on the script, stay on point. And with the Democrats, they do hand wringing, they sacrifice, someone who steps out of line or may give the appearance that there is trouble, like with Senator Al Franken from Minnesota. Just allegations from years ago and the pressure for them to step down. One of their better vocal senators, one of their better voices, they oh me too. We got to believe her, and Alfredkin's gone.
Yeah,
And, and
and with all due respect to everybody, this is the problems that the Democrats have. When people talk about that walk is killing them, it is not the walk that a lot of people say, oh, well, they're putting policies and laws in order. No, no, no. You cannot say fuck you, but your opposition does. You cannot lie, but your opposition bases it on. You have to have a rule that says that if the chairman is a man, the vice chair has to be a woman. Really? Why? Sorry, why?
and then,
Because
and then
no, no, no. Equality is getting yourself elected.
thank you,
Okay, and I'll give you
thank
an
you.
example here in my county. We only have one man who's a county commissioner. Of all the 5 are women,
Correct.
and 2 men run against 2 women, and they both lost.
Yep, that's
Okay,
true.
so when people tell me a fair and chance, no. So at this point, party, if you want, we could go next week over the 15 points again because apparently they don't listen to the community. They don't communicate effectively with the community.
That's right.
They don't do anything that shows that they care for the community. They talk down to the community. They spend all the money that the community gives them to raise, to get good people elected, to pay and waste on consultants. I mean, there's a scene there that Matt Damon just says, look, everything that I say is a lie. This phrase tested effectively with the communicators, consultants. We paid them $10,000 for this. We paid them what type of shoe I should use with lace or unlace, this or that. What type? Another consultant, what tie I should use, which color, if it was gray, charcoal gray for my
Mm.
suits. I mean, my haircuts, da, 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 my ability. It was like, that is my party. They spent almost close to $100,000 to come up with the phrase weird. I hate to say this. The
Urgh.
Republicans are not weird. You want me to tell you what they are? Liars, and they run scare. They don't care. Look, it's not that they agree with Donald Trump, but those who have disagreed with him, he comes, I'm going to take this idiot, and this idiot is going to be the candidate, and you are going to be in the cabinet. Right here in Florida. Fine. fine, is an idiot. But he is a loyalist to Trump, and that's why he's the candidate.
That's right.
If you don't fall in line, you fall out of the party. So basically, that is the truth about the Republicans. They lie, they cheat, they're corrupt, and they're not weird. They're crazy. And if you want to call them crazy stupid, don't, because they're not stupid.
No, they're far from
You're
being stupid.
underestimating them. They know what they're doing, and we're the ones who think that we're the stupid who think they would never do what they're doing. Yes, they will. And if you think that things are going to get better, you're stupider. Things are going to get worse. Why? Because they've been getting away with murder, and
That's right.
they'll continue to get away with murder. And
Yeah.
until such time the Democrats show something of look, if you can't lead, please get out of the way. Let those who can do so. Stop trying to say that OIC is a socialist. Stop saying that Bernie Sanders is a leftist. I hate to say this. The
Um,
majority of the party is liberal.
yep.
The centrists in the party are the minority. You might control the party. You might steal elections from us, but the majority of us are centrists. And when I say steal elections from us, what Biden did to us was steal election. We should have had an open primary with everybody running and the best candidate be elected. But they threatened anybody who ran against them, and they lied. All of them. All of them lied. No, no, he's okay. He's doing fine. If you think he's doing fine, just tell me how was he in the June 2024 debate? Do you think he was fine? Do you think he was coherent? Do you think he talked intelligently? Do you think his thought he could put two thoughts together at the same time? If the answer to all those questions is no, and do you think that started in June of 2024? Then you're smoking cheap weed. Go to a better store and get some better quality weed because there's no way that started that night. Okay, those were the rumors that you and I and everybody else heard for months. Oh no,
Yeah.
no, no, he's fine. No, 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 he's good.
Yeah.
He's in command of all his faculties. Yeah. Every time I listen to that debate, I go, oh my God.
Yeah. It was hard to take, and I stuck by the guy. I stuck by him. I say, hey, this is the army that you have. It's not the one that you want, but this is the guy you brought to the dance. Let's dance. And looking back on it, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. Uh, it was a good idea for him to step down. However, there should have been a process for the primary. I'm not going to rehash it or
Oh no, I'm not going to either. But
relitigate.
what we got, we deserved. We got whipped because
Yeah.
basically, let's see how I can discourage my Democrats. Let me see how I can piss off my Democrats. Let me see how I can show the Democrats that when we talk that party is controlled by Donald Trump, our party was controlled by Biden and his people. I'm sorry.
Mm. And all I'm asking is that instead of the stupid Twitter fights, spats, which only a limited number of people are on, and you're pretty much talking to you're performing for your own audience instead of those things, and like you said, the little TikTok dances or the performative, photos, like you're looking all mean and like you're going to actually do something. Stop it. Stop it. If there is a resistance, then first thing, I would like to see someone get to go to the White House and say, hey, we need to be at the table. We can move our agenda forward together. Let us at the table. Let us at the table. And if that doesn't happen with the Trump administration, follow through on what you put out there about shutting down the government or doing X, Y, and Z. Walk out of the State of the Union address. Do what you have to do. But however, this talk during the campaign season and now about fascism, dictatorship, oligarchy, blah 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 blah. Yes, there's There's elements of that. There's no doubt. However, there are elements of opportunity in what's happening these days. It's my opinion. Democrats need, from the top to the bottom and back up, need to force their way at the table. And if they're unable to do that, then there's no resistance. They're
Well,
done.
the centrists are not resisting. And I'll tell you
Yeah.
that right now. The centrists are not resisting. The centrists don't even know what to do. The centrists don't know how to lead. They know how to control. And this is the problem. These are people that when they just control and they do not know how to lead. Right now, and this is something that the party is going to have to make a decision. The majority of the party is liberal. You don't like that? Fuck you. But it is.
Yeah.
The biggest crowds are not were not Biden. They were not Kamala in the 2020 election. As a matter of fact, not even the 2016 election. Okay, let's stop pretending. Bernie came out of nowhere with no help from the party, zero.
That's true.
With the party trying to do anything to crucify him. Okay,
Whew.
and he was very close to coming out, but his groups and the people who he had attracted to the party was huge. Okay, but we decided that we're going to cheat a couple of primaries here and there and put in Hillary. COVID put in Biden
Yeah.
because a lot of the primaries got suspended and basically Biden came in.
Right.
The truth is that right now the centrists are doing shit. The centrists are not going out to talk to the people. They don't look. I would like somebody to come up, spend $2 or $3 million, and come up on YouTube or any the commercial TV stations, whichever they feel comfortable. Hi, my name is James Harrelfond, and I'm a Democrat, and I am leading this party, and I'm going to tell you this is our plan. Our plan is to oppose everything that Donald Trump does. Our plan is that we're going to come up with an alternative plan that we're going to give to you that we think is better.
Yeah.
Third, we're going to come up with a budget of everything that needs to be addressed in this country. We're going to also tell you how we plan to govern in the future by doing X, Y, Z. This is what they need to do.
Yes. Yes, Jimmy. Yes, and they need to stop saying no. No, we can't do this because you know this is it's going to be harmful to the environment. No, we can't do this because we have to protect this particular group of individuals. No this, no that. They have to understand we are in a different age. We're not going back. We're not going back after this administration. The USA ID done. The cuts done.
The Department of Education, done.
Done.
So basically,
Democrats need to have a plan that is realistic, that goes back to what made them great, and the messaging has to be on point. Housing, Jimmy, housing, again, from the highest levels of government to the lower levels of local government, the message has to stop being no, we can't do that because well, they don't meet certain affordable housing facility doesn't meet permitting regulations or rules or things like that, and that's what they are, rules. If we're going to house the homeless, or even start just affordable housing, we need to open up the supply. We need to get more supply of homes on the market, more supply of affordable homes on the market. And a lot of the reasons why we don't have affordable homes on the market, new affordable homes on the market, is because of all the rules that have been set up.
yeah, and that is the problem. Look,
to build back better.
Democrats need to not only okay. Democrats need to grow a pair of balls.
Yeah.
Or like we call them where I come from, par de cojones, which they don't have. But right now, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Just remind you of something. They're blaming the Democrats for the shortage of eggs because Democrats required people to have chickens rowing free because they get better eggs. I've never heard that one, but whatever that is. And by roaming free, they get more diseases and they're dying. That while they were in their own little cools, that didn't happen. That's a lie. Are we calling them out on it? Hell no. But is the American people buying it? There is a scene of a movie called The American President.
Okay. Yeah.
People buy things because nobody is saying the contrary. They're buying the water in the desert because nobody is showing them an alternative. We are not showing the alternative. The alternative is, hey, they're dying because you have defunded the Department of Agriculture, and they and their inspectors are not being able to go out there to do what they need to do. So that's it. Before I forget, let me give you the fuck up of the Democrats of this week.
All right. Let's hear it.
It's the reverse of the fuck up of the Republicans.
Okay.
Republicans use a thing saying, "Hey, it's not classified this and that." Fine. Have the Democrats come up and say, "Look, this is a fuck up. Look, this push us in danger. Look, this has done this. This is done." Leadership has done nothing to take advantage. I'm going to call this nothing to take advantage. These people fucked up. Hey, let's jump on it, which is what Republicans do. No, 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 no. I don't want to do that
Yeah.
because, that's. Look, either become a leader or get out of the way. And for the record, I'm going to end with this. Democrats, you need a pot of cojones. You need a crazy leader. You need somebody who will call balls and strikes, including to yourself. But stop staying home and say, I don't want to do that. That's not, I don't care. Right now, if you don't do something, the country going to find everything, the environment's going to be fucked up and everything else is going to be fucked up. And you're not going to be able to fix it because you don't have the brains.
Hmm.
So right now, either you put up a fight or get out of the way.
Wait.
Let us, those who want to fight the good fight. Otherwise, get out of the way. With that, the crazy Democrat, or the Democrat who says the truth, or your crazy uncle, the way you want to call me, I don't care, says to you all, good readings, and I'll talk to you next week. Remember, subscribe, comment, good, bad, and different. Okay, and if not, we will see you next week. Take care.
Thanks, Jimmy. Have a good one.
You too.